tweet, this is your pinned tweet to this date, simply said, facts don't care about your feelings. And if any phrase, I think, perfectly epitomizes this woke era that we have somehow stumbled into, it's that.
Frankly, I don't believe in proportionate response to terrorism. I believe that the way that you stop terrorism is with wildly disproportionate response. That doesn't mean in terms of targeting civilians. It means in terms of killing as many terrorists as humanly possible.
Ben Shapiro and Piers Morgan are two famous personalities who have remained vocal against woke culture. In this video, we will look at moments when Morgan and Shapiro went on a roller coaster of sharing their distaste for anything relating to woke ideologies on live television.
Feelings before facts. How do we get there?
Well, I mean, culturally speaking, I think that what happened is that the value of subjective authenticity became the core to pretty much everybody. So the idea of individualism was taken to its logical extreme, which was, I'm so important and everything I feel is so important that I can ignore the rest of reality. And in fact, reality is an imposition on me. Institutions, rules, roles, the rules of the road, all that sort of stuff, it's an imposition on who I truly am. And in order for me to be actually free, I have to speak my truth.
Ben Shapiro and Piers Morgan began their discussion with Ben, talking about what he perceives as the woke culture's overindulgence in the personal emotions of individuals over factual reality. In Shapiro's view, ignoring facts on the basis of how a person feels is completely ludicrous and harmful to society. In his words, there is no such a thing as my truth. There is your opinion and there are the facts. Shapiro and Morgan both agreed on the belief that realities should come before the personal delusions of anyone, no matter how important they may be.
As I've said and you've said, there's no such thing as my truth, right? There's your opinion and then there's the truth. But as soon as you start speaking in terms of my truth, as soon as you start saying, well, there's how I feel about the world and how I feel about the world is the core of me, what that also does is it means that other people are aggressing on you when they disagree with you.
Ben Shapiro went further to point out that when political views are taken as personal truths, any disagreement is seen as an affront to the existence of such individuals, which creates offense and division, which is now widely seen in society because the woke media has continued to push that no one is allowed to share a different worldview, and any attempt to disagree is considered as bigotry, according to Shapiro. Real quick, if you're enjoying this content and want more insights like this, hit subscribe and help us reach these topics to a wider audience. Thank you for the support. Now, let's jump back in. Piers Morgan shows complete agreement with Shapiro's remarks on this aspect of woke culture throughout the interview.
Bad world where truth is no longer factual. It's just whatever you're feeling in any given moment. It seems such a perverse thing for a democratic society that you move away from fact-based, from science, whatever it may be, to just feelings dominating a culture. And if you defy those feelings, you are instantly branded the enemy and you must be destroyed.
Piers Morgan went on about his views about the woke ideology, which seeks to affirm and foster every personal expression. In his words, this is such a pervasive thing for a democratic society. He cites Meghan and Harry, who appeared on Oprah's show, where they got encouraged for expressing their truths. In Morgan's view, this is nothing but an expression of the symptoms of woke culture, which has sought to affirm personal delusions over factual knowledge.
And the conflation of masculinity, which is good, with toxic masculinity, that all masculinity is bad, and so we need to feminize society overall. We don't need to feminize society overall any more than we need to masculinize society overall.
Ben Shapiro shared his thoughts on how woke culture is undermining masculinity. He believes that in trying to make men more feminine, the woke media has demonized masculinity. Shapiro insists that it's perfectly fine for men to embrace their masculinity, and for women to embrace their femininity. Piers Morgan agreed, adding that even James Bond is now being written to show more feminine traits, which he sees as contributing to the cultural emasculation of men.
The media have said for years and years and years that they want Trump out. Trump has to go. He's a fascist threat to the United States. And then the minute that a candidate throws her hat in the ring against Trump, she's the first declared candidate against Trump. And the minute that happens, all of a sudden, she's a token, and she's too old for the job at 51, and which suggests to me that a lot of these people have been, crying into their soup a little bit.
In this interview, Shapiro and Morgan also expressed their views on the issue of Donald Trump's coming under fire from the left. In Shapiro and Piers' views, there is a high level of political rigidity on the Democratic Party side, where the hatred and disgust on individuals who go over to another party is completely high. During this part of the conversation, the two public figures cited the hatred and backlash that Nikki Haley received after joining the camp of Donald Trump.
Yes.
You hurt their feelings and they're very upset.
And they believe they have a right to get people removed from their jobs if they don't agree with everything they're saying.
Well, I will say,
Even if they're lying.
I think the public reaction to them is so heartening.
Piers Morgan raised the issue of the woke media viewing themselves as untouchable parts of society, unreachable to the mere comments of other personalities in the population. The two men hinted at Meghan and Harry as two key figures in woke culture who carry the same attitude of sacred cows when they are being called out by the public. According to Piers Morgan, the woke media believes they are not to receive any backlash for their actions, even when they are wrong.
He wants privacy, but he has very specific memories of using particular facial cream on, I didn't know the word, I mean, I'm American. We don't use the word todger in my country. So.
During this second interview, Piers and Ben talked about free speech and how Elon Musk is a force for good in the fight against woke culture and fake news. The two seem to share the same opinion about Elon Musk, with Piers Morgan pointing out that his takeover of Twitter is one of the greatest moves for humanity, which has done its best to strengthen the fight against woke culture. And Shapiro supported his statement completely.
I mean, I totally agree with that. I mean, the world requires audacious thinkers. Elon Musk is an audacious thinker. The world requires people who have high aspirations for humanity. Elon Musk has high aspirations for humanity.
Piers Morgan went on to talk about Donald Trump, and the two seemed to agree on the idea that most of what has been said about the former president was lies and propaganda by the woke left, in their opinion, during Trump's actual presidency. He ruled the country far better than the Biden era in terms of actual policy, and Trump's take on issues which were demonized back then have all been proven to be real issues, which today has plagued the nation due to the incompetence of the Biden administration.
Show him significantly up now in almost every swing state, I think, against Joe Biden, who is showing increasing signs of senility and dementia. Now, you in 2016, in March, I think.
Ben Shapiro, in this next video, destroyed the woke ideals of a socialist worker who, in his view, has the answers needed to solve the imbalance in trades. But Ben went all out on a verbal beatdown on the woke activist.
Pencils, you're not going to get very far. You need workers. Capital needs labor infinitely more than labor needs capital. That's why you have worker cooperatives where the workers are the ones...
I fundamentally disagree on the distinction between capital and labor. Capital is just a term for money. If you're talking about money, money does not grow from the ground. Money only has value because it was traded for labor at one point or the products of labor. So if I take my money and I buy machinery, I have invested my labor in doing that because I didn't get the money from nowhere. Even if I got it from my parents didn't get the money from nowhere. The people who built the machines required me to trade something of value to them.
Ben Shapiro questioned what he considered a completely flawed argument of the woke activist. In his opinion, the question of whether the capital being put into an enterprise by investors matches the labor of workers is completely uncalled for, as it takes labor at some point to generate any form of capital used in business. Ben Shapiro completely dismantled the socialist in one of the most articulate verbal beatdowns cut on live television.
Chucking milk around Harrods, destroying supermarket shelves and so on. How does that persuade me, who already likes eating meat? Why are you going to persuade me by being a vandal?
Piers Morgan, in this hilarious enterprise with a vegan activist, went all out against this vegan protester on the vandalism carried out by her team against historical sites in the country in an attempt to push vegan views forward.
So we can gain more media attention on the subject, and
I don't know anyone you persuade. I haven't heard anyone go, you know what, I was a meat eater and I saw Big Ben being desecrated, this great monument of this country, and I thought, I know what I'll do. I'm going to go and give up meat and start eating gruel. I haven't heard a single human being say that.
Piers Morgan made it clear that he was appalled by the activism of the group and called them out for what he tagged errant hypocrisy, because he believes that vegan products are all gotten from animal-based materials, which the vegan activism movement disregards in their attempts to force everyone to live as they do.
Let me speak, Piers.
Huh?
Will you let me speak?
Why are you laughing? It's not funny.
I'd like to respond.
Bees getting slaughtered and you giggling away like it doesn't matter, whilst destroying buildings because you care so much about animals. You don't care about the little guys.
Piers Morgan ended the interview by showing his deviance towards any form of woke culture. Then, he served himself a Big Mac right in front of his vegan guest, who could do absolutely nothing in the presence of such utter humiliation.
And my response to you destroying all these things is to have a Big Mac. Because you know what? It's a free country, it's a democracy, and I'm allowed to eat meat, and I'm certainly allowed to eat meat when someone who kills bees to feed their avocado habit minds.
What we're asking is for the government to support farmers.
This is the moment where Piers Morgan went up against the controversial woke movement on trans culture and showed his complete disregard for the pronoun policing movement of woke culture.
When I decide that I want to be a two-spirit penguin, you go absolutely nuts and want to control how I self-identify.
That's not how it works.
That is the point I'm making. That is not transphobic. That is exposing a flaw in your position.
Piers Morgan defended his right to self-identify as a two-spirit penguin, which the woke culture saw as a blatant move to mock the woke movement. Still, Piers explained that he was only expressing his right to self-identify as anything, since the left agrees that there are over 100 genders.
To me, has got completely out of control.
Absolutely.
And the reason I feel so incensed, and I'll come to India in a moment, the reason I feel incensed about this 100 gender thing, imagine being India Willoughby, who's gone through transitioning.
The interview went back and forth, and Piers Morgan maintained his views that it's completely wild for anyone to claim that he did anything wrong for self-identifying as a penguin, when it is okay for people to claim to be trapped in a different body.
Wow.
Messi on the U.S. women's national team? Hell yeah.
Would you allow
that would
Usain
mean,
Bolt to do that and be in the sprinting team?
Yes, because that would mean they're a trans woman. They identify as women.
I get it. So just to be clear,
Piers Morgan has called the refusal of trans activists to state the facts that men shouldn't be in women's sports a complete disgrace to the education of a lot of sane personalities. He expressed his shock when he got a positive answer from a woke activist when asked if Lionel Messi and Usain Bolt should compete in women's sports professionally.
it's utterly ridiculous.
Well, I'm just convinced that they don't actually believe this, but to the logical conclusion of their ludicrous arguments facilitates the need to actually say these things.
What do you think? Are Piers and Ben the perfect counterweight to woke ideology? Would you like to see them collaborate more, to speak and host sessions, to protect our long-term culture? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more open discussions.